Well, hey there, everybody. Good evening. January 15th, 2023. How about that? 220th week of Speaking of Zane. Good to have everybody in there. Well, let's see who we've got here so far. Daryl is in there. Hey, Daryl from Florissant, Missouri, a fine St. Louis suburb. Lori is in there from Ackworth, Georgia, another fine Atlanta suburb. Steve Shirley's in there from Papillion, a fine Omaha suburb. How's it going, everybody? Should have some more coming in as we move along. There's my Aunt Mary in Ocilla, Georgia, a fine Fitzgerald suburb. No, that's not true. It is not a suburb, but it's a little town in South Georgia. Well, let's see. Lori says we're too far out to be a suburb. That might be true. I don't know. I guess in Atlanta, though, like any big city, you can be 100 miles away and say you're from Atlanta. It's crazy. But we are about 50 miles from the airport, actually, northwest. Well, let's see. What do we got going here at the fabulous McDonald Estate and Insane Asylum? Well, it's another edition of Speaking of Zane, where we seek to keep his memory alive by speaking his name, and we swerve into other things while we're doing that. And we've been doing that for 220 weeks now. So how about that? There's Jim Miller. Jim is in Omaha, Nebraska. Good to have you all in there. We'll see. COVID seems to have moving on out of the house. I know Lori, I think, is better from those symptoms anyway, and Caitlin is better. So I think we are COVID free in the house right now until the next time it comes. Just like the flu. How about that? There's Ken. Hey, Ken. Down in Florida, Central Florida. Good to have you in there. Hope your travels went well. I know Ken is retired, of course, but he does a little contract work on the side. Thank God for guys like him that are willing to still share the knowledge that he accumulated in all those years in the military, working with nuclear missiles, and he still contracts some in that regard. He's still a young man, got many, many decades ahead of him. So good on you, Ken. Let's see. Well, let's see. Goodness, tornadoes came through the South a few days ago. Pretty quick line, but there was quite a bit of devastation in Selma, Alabama. And in Marbury, Alabama. Marbury is where my pawpaw lived, and many of my relatives in that vicinity there. But maybe, I don't know if Aunt Cindy's in here tonight, but maybe she can give us a little report. She lives down in that area. But yeah, praying for everybody there. Georgia also had some tornadoes. There weren't. We had storms come through pretty quick and all through Metro Atlanta, but I think there were no tornadoes in Metro Atlanta. There were some in Georgia. In fact, there was at least one fatality in Georgia that I'm aware of. Let's see, what do we got going here? No weight loss updates, standing steady at 70 pounds. And I do have some incremental goals in mind. But the big goal I have is 22 more pounds by the Running to Honor 5K, which is July 31st. And 22 veterans a day commit suicide. And many agree that number is probably low, and certainly doesn't take into account those that they didn't purposefully in their own lives It's an astronomical number, way too many. But anyway, 22 is generally the agreed upon daily figure that everybody sort of rallies around. So conveniently, I have 22 more pounds to get to a particular goal, and seems reasonable to make that by the July 31st running to honor 5K. 22 pounds between now and July. That's a no-brainer. I got that licked. But you guys feel free to root me on. I've got some incremental goals along the way. I've got a goal. We're doing another health challenge at work, so I've got a goal between now and March 14th, I think it is, that I'm shooting for. So, oh no, Lori said the Hobby Lobby in Griffin, Georgia. Okay, that is an Atlanta metro suburb south of Atlanta. I didn't realize the Hobby Lobby. Well, that's terrible. Must have been a whole $9.58 worth of damage. Just kidding. Well, hopefully I know that will bounce back. Well, hey, Daryl, there's Daryl. I called you out already, Fluorescent. But back to you in a minute, Daryl. But all right, so let's see. What is going on around here? Well, we've got we had a fairly uneventful week this last week, but next week's going to be eventful. This coming week, Lori is heading down to my Warriors Place on Wednesday, where she's going to be taking part in the Forever a Warrior program, starting on Thursday night or Friday. I don't remember, but anyway, she's driving down to Tampa, south of Tampa, for that on Wednesday, and then I'll be leaving Wednesday to go to St. Louis. Don't get any ideas, because there are other adults watching the house while we're gone, and they are armed. But yeah, so I'm heading to St. Louis. Got a little bit of work to do there Thursday. I'm going to be, I'm actually heading up there on Wednesday in the afternoon. But Thursday, I'm going to be spending a day out at our integration center and warehouse in Edwardsville, Illinois, actually, and do a little scouting out there and have a couple of meetings with some of the leadership. And then on Friday, I'm participating in a STEM student forum. That's science, technology. What is it? What is STEM? Science, technology, something, and mathematics. Anyway, there's a STEM student forum that my company sponsors every year, and it's for high schoolers. So I'm going to be mentoring a team. Engineering. Thank you, Steve. How could that one escape me? But I'm going to be mentoring a team. So I think there's about 20 teams, and from about 20 different schools across the St. Louis metro. Let me find what my school is. Maybe Daryl knows what my school is. But anyway, it's kind of a cool thing we do, kind of a community give back kind of thing. Maybe it's 25 schools or so. But anyway, there'll be 10-person teams. So there'll be 10 students per school. And these are high schools. And then a teacher advisor or two. For my school, I have 2 teachers that I'm working with that I'm going to meet on Tuesday. And anyway, so so they have so we're going to present them with a problem that they have to solve using technology. And so on Friday, this Friday's the kickoff. So all these high schoolers are going to be at our headquarters building in our big auditorium. And they've asked me to deliver the corporate overview after the welcome. So I'll tell our corporate overview story. And then in the afternoon, I'll pair up with my team of 10 students and 2 teachers. My team is called, listen up, Daryl. This is it. This is northwest of St. Louis. It's in Troy, Missouri. My school is Troy Buchanan High School. They're the Trojans. Go Trojans. So I'll meet these 10 young people on Friday and the 2 teachers, and we'll give them a problem to solve using technology. And then over the next month or so, we'll meet regularly. They'll brainstorm. They'll come up with some problems, and they have to deliver a presentation. And I'm the mentor. I'm the one that's got to help them do that. And then they submit their thing late February. And if they're down selected to the top 5, then they have some more things to do before the final on March the 5th, or no, March the 4th. Anyway, that'd be kind of fun to do that. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Troy Buchanan High School is my school. Troy Buchanan High School, kind of cool. And and then Saturday, they've asked me, since I'm in town, they've asked me to stay on through Saturday, actually, because we're doing a big job fair. We're hiring hundreds of people out at our warehousing facility, integration facility. We have, a couple of million square feet under roof out there where we consolidate all the things that we sell and then do certain things to them. But anyway, we're hiring a bunch of people out there. Can't get enough people. And anyway, they've asked me to stay on and, first of all, represent our veteran community at the company, and then maybe do some interviewing as well. So I'll be there through early afternoon on Saturday and then fly back home. But Daryl, maybe you and I can grab a bite to eat Friday night. I don't have any Friday night plans. I don't know. Think about it. Maybe we can. I've got Wednesday night plans, Thursday night plans, but I don't have any Friday night plans. So maybe we can grab some chow or something. But okay, well that's my upcoming week. Back on the road after a few months of no travel. All right. Well, let's see. And like most of you, I'm off work tomorrow, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So enjoy MLK Day tomorrow. Let's see. Hat of the week. Well, you guys know I'm a hat wearer. I don't know how many hats I have. Lori, do you have any ideas? I don't know, a couple hundred maybe hanging up in here. But I'm usually wearing a hat, and I try to wear a hat for Speaking of Zane that has something to do with what's going on around here. Well, I couldn't think of one, so this is just one of Zane's hats. I love to wear his hats. I have 2 or 3 of his hats, and this one is his True Spec hat, and I remembered him wearing it. I wish I had his Georgia Bulldog hat. Nobody knows where the Georgia Bulldog. He had an old ratty Georgia Bulldog hat, but I don't know where. Nobody knows where it ended up. But unfortunately, I got 3 of his hats and enjoy wearing them every now and then. But that's the hat of the week. Zane Colby's ball cap. This is very comfortable too. This one is very lightweight, sort of water resistant, like you might expect from True Spec. But okay, well, let's see what we got here. Let me catch up in the chat here. We got a little chatter going on here. Yeah, Lori was reminding me that our daughter Charlotte did those kind of things in high school all the time, competed in those kind of things. Oh, she was out of town this week for a few days for a wedding. She flew back to Texas for a wedding of one of her old coworkers when she was there at Texas A&M. She's back home now. Let's see. Ken said he's been a little busy. Let's see. Didn't get a chance to post his thank yous. Let's see. 19 different folks that he thanked. Wow. I don't know, Ken, if that sets a record or not. Missile crew members, 14 security forces, a good friend of his and his wife who he used to pull alert with. How about that for nostalgia? Didn't keep count. Yep. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad you made it home safely, Ken. And I bet you feel a sense of, I don't know, you probably feel a great sense of accomplishment, sense of pride at what you're doing there. And you should. That's good stuff. Yep. I'm going to come back to you when we get to the cemetery challenge, but I'm going to put your 19 in here, and you may have beat out Aunt Paula. Aunt Paula, I think, held the previous record for most in a week. But Ken, I'll have to look back. But you might be the reigning champ there. So good on you for doing that and cataloging. Let's see if I add. Might have to take my socks off here to add things up. Okay. All right. I don't want to get that wrong. So, all right. Well, let's see. We're going to get to that here in a minute. Yeah, good for you, Ken. All right. Well, let's see. So back to the, let me see, COVID, tornadoes, Lori's going out of town, I'm going out of town, weight loss, St. Louis, MLK Day. Okay. I did have one this week in military history item. So if anybody has a military history item, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. I didn't get too many, but I remember this week I saw that today in 1943, the Pentagon was dedicated. Did everybody know that? The Pentagon. I've seen the Pentagon from the outside several times. And a few years ago, thanks to my good friend, my coworker, and all-around genuine human, Amanda Duggar, I got an opportunity to actually go in and visit. We were in D.C., Reston, Virginia, for a meeting, and one of her friends saw her. She posted that she was in town and said, "Hey, I'm at the Pentagon." He was working at the Pentagon there. He was a lieutenant colonel at the time. Billy is his name. And he says, "Well, if you're in town, why don't you come and bring a friend?" And we were supposed to fly home. That afternoon. And Amanda said, "Hey, Guy, I got an opportunity to go to the Pentagon. You want to go with me?" And I'm like, "Let me think about it." Yes. And so we changed our travel plans and went over to the Pentagon and took the train in and stayed at a hotel right across from the Pentagon. And when we got there, Billy let us in, gave us the grand tour every day. It was just so absolutely awesome. And that was my only time ever in the Pentagon and got a personalized tour. And Billy is now a full bird colonel down at Lackland and soon to be transferred, I believe, to Keesler. I think he's going to be the Keesler base commander, if I remember right. But swell guy, man, what a great guy. And I appreciate him doing that. And Amanda and I have a pretty famous picture where we took a selfie outside of there, and a guy ran us down and stopped us and said, "You can't be taking pictures around here." I still have the picture, and it's me and Amanda and the guy behind us with a black circle around his face. We edited him out, but it's a funny picture. If I think of it, I'll post that. But anyway, that's my Pentagon story. Okay, Steve's got a military history item here. On this day, January 15th, 1961, the U.S. Coast Guard raced through the darkness toward a tiny point 84 miles southeast of New York City. There, 28 crew members of Texas Tower 4 were waiting desperately to be evacuated from their station. Yes, if you don't know anything about Texas Towers, look that up. Huge swells and high winds pounded the hull of the ship. The radios picked up a frantic transmission from the tower. We're breaking up, and with that, Texas Tower 4 and all of its occupants were pulled beneath the waves. Yeah, sad tragedy there. Look up Texas Towers if that kind of stuff intrigues you. It does me. Thank you, Steve, for contributing that. All right. Well, let's see. We'll move on to the Veteran Cemetery Challenge. I'm excited. I'm excited every time we get a new one. That's exciting. Over the years, we've had 742 visits now. I can't wait till we get to 1,000. 742 visits. It's just incredible. To 167 different cemeteries. And we have a new one this week, thanks to Ken. I need to add it to the map. I haven't added it yet, but Daryl did make a visit to Jefferson Barracks and always does a great job of chronicling his visits. I made a visit yesterday, so I got to confess, yesterday was Wreaths Across America cleanup day at Georgia National Cemetery. I forgot about it. I totally forgot about it. And I was ready, had my rake ready. If you know the rake trick, basically you take a rake and you can put the wreaths down the rake and you can drag it. You can get a lot more wreaths and you don't have to bend over so much. And anyway, so I had my rake ready and my gloves ready, and I didn't go. But I did go to the cemetery in the afternoon, though, and spent some time out there. Beautiful weather, brisk but sunny. But drove out there because I was up in Cartersville. I had to buy some steel-toed boots. I think the only steel-toed boots I think I've ever had were Air Force boots when I was in the Air Force. But anyway, I'm going to be doing some workout at this warehouse of ours, and you got to wear steel-toed boot. You have to wear steel-toed shoes, or you got to wear these caps you put over your regular shoe. Anyway, I picked up a pair of steel-toed shoes. But anyway, I was close enough. I said, I'm going to go see Zane. So I went out there and then realized that I had forgotten about the wreath cleanup. Well, we're only 11 months away from Wreaths Across America, December the 16th this year. So we're 11 months away. So not too early to plan Wreaths Across America. Daryl says their cleanup is this coming Saturday. Okay. Well, Daryl, this trip, I know Daryl and I went out there together last time I was in town, or a couple times ago, and it won't work out for me this time. But let's see. So Daryl to Jefferson Barracks, Guy to Georgia National, and Ken went to Fort Logan National Cemetery in Colorado. Ken, I have been there. I flew out there a couple years ago to go to a meeting in Boulder, and when I drove from the airport, I drove down and over to Logan and then up to Boulder. So I have been there. It's a very nice one. And then this is the new one for us. I don't think we have this one unless Steve went out there at some point over the last few years, but Cheyenne National Cemetery in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Pretty sure that's a new one for us. So Ken, thank you for those. Great pictures Ken posted as well. Just a reverent, hallowed ground, every one of those places. But if I add those up, 1, 2, 3, 4 visits this week, and one of those being a new cemetery, unless Steve corrects me here, but I'm pretty sure that's a new one for us. So 742 visits to 167 different locations. How about that? All right. Well, let's see what we got here. Thank you, Vet Challenge. I just totaled up Ken's 19, but Daryl also had a nice encounter at the local Schnucks there, which is a St. Louis-based grocery store. I know about Schnucks, Daryl, because they're a client of ours. We did their loyalty app and all that stuff. Anyway, Schnucks. But did I not get that one, Ken? I was confusing that one, I think, I was thinking that one was Cheyenne. So that one's on F.E. Warren. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Ken. You had 3 visits. And that would be 2 new ones for us. Give me a confirmation in the chat there. And I'll make that change. 2 different ones in Cheyenne. Okay. All right. Thanks for clarifying that. Well, they're good. Our numbers go up by 1 here. So 743 visits to 168 different locations with 2 new ones this week. Good on you, Ken. 2 new ones. I don't know if we've had very many weeks where we've had two new ones in a week. So that's another first for us there. All right. If you're just joining, you are here on the 220th edition of Speaking of Zane here on January the 15th, where you can see I have a motorboat mouth. We meet every week to talk about Zane, to say his name, make sure he's not forgotten, and we swerve into other areas, and I'm good at swerving. But okay, well, let's see. That was a pretty good week. So the Thank a Vet Challenge, Daryl had the Army Vietnam vet called Mike. Aunt Paula had a Korean War vet and a Vietnam vet, both in two different eating out episodes there. And then Ken's 19, they're up at F.E. Warren. And then I had a really cool one. I had an Army vet, young lady named Shelby, who works at a company called Cisco Systems. It's a partner of ours. And she happens to be the person that leads their Veterans Employee Resource Group. And you remember last week I was telling you guys how I now lead the one for our company. So I got a hold of her, and we're comparing notes about things, and we share best practices and stuff. Anyway, delightful young lady, Army vet, lives in Billings, Montana. How about that, Ken, up in that northern tier, missile fields. All right. So if I add those up, Ken's 19, mine, Paula's 2, Daryl's, I think I'm right when I say we're at 23 thank yous for the week. 23 thank yous for the week. And 1,917 thank yous. So 23 till we hit the 2,000 mark, getting close. Yeah, there are people that live in Montana on purpose, I guess, or they didn't have a choice and can't figure out how to get out. Maybe it's beautiful out here, though. I've been through there. Well, there you go, Ken. All right. Ken will be out there later this year. Well, good. Yeah, we drove through there when I was a kid on my way on, my dad was getting transferred from Whidbey Island, Washington, back to Cherry Point, North Carolina. And we drove the northern route, and we drove through Montana and Wyoming. But I can't recall ever purposefully going to Montana, although I wouldn't mind it. Okay, well, let's see. How about organizations? Well, let's see what we got going on. I mentioned Running to Honor. Registration's open for that. I'm going to lose 22 pounds between now and then, and we'll celebrate that. Lori's going to My Warrior's Place. They're having the I don't know how many people are going to be part of that, but Kelly asked Lori if she wanted to go. She asked me too, but I'm going to be in St. Louis. Lori worked this all out. The Forever a Warrior program, totally free to the veteran, and this will give us. Lori's experience will tell us what that's all about, and maybe we can share it with other people. And I don't know, she does it a couple times a year, but anyway, Lori will get a firsthand experience about what that's all about and share that with you guys down the road. Okay, well, let's see. I think that's it for the organizational updates. We did have a fatality. You guys may have seen this. I don't claim to have seen all of these. I just watch the news and do different things, but I don't go searching for these things. But I did see that we lost an Air Force Academy cadet. He was also on the football team. His name was Hunter Brown, 21 years old, from Lake Charles, Louisiana. He died after a medical emergency on his way to class last Monday, January the 9th. And I haven't looked to see if there's a cause of death, but there seems to be a lot of deaths going around with young, healthy people, and even athletes. But anyway, I don't jump to any conclusions there. But just hope is just wishing the best for his family as they mourn him. Hunter Brown was his name. Okay, well, let's see. Well, they had to. Now there's a bunch of talk about all those people that they forced to leave the military. Seems to be a groundswell of support for letting them come back if they want to, and even compensating them accordingly. Pretty fair, if you ask me. I know everybody has opinions on the matter, but we'll see. A lot of young, healthy people want to serve, and so we'll see. Track that and see what happens. But well, good. Okay. Well, I'm out of material. Can you believe I'm out of words to say? But no, appreciate everybody being here tonight. Like I said, this is my therapy. Just talking about Zane related activities, related things going on. But we will look forward to a good update with you guys next week. I'll update you on my activities, the ones that are military related at work, and then Lori. I don't think Lori will be. I don't know if Lori will be. I don't know what the activities involved that they'll have over the weekend next week, if she'll be able to join Speaking to Zane or not. But if she does, great. Maybe she can share some things with us. If she can't, then maybe the next week we'll hear a little bit about her experience there. And all right. Well, I do wish I could go down there. I'm overdue. We haven't been down there since October, but it's just not going to work out for me to go down this trip. But we will be down there again sometime here in the not so distant future. Okay, everybody. Well, have a great week. Make it count. Those of you that are off tomorrow, have a good day off. I'm going to be off tomorrow, doing my normal Sunday stuff tomorrow, except for Speaking of Zane prep. I'll probably hang around, get a good walk in. I've got some odds and ends I've been working on around the house, normal maintenance stuff around the house, and things like that. So not too crazy, but we'll look forward to seeing everybody either on the Speaking of Zane Facebook group, which you guys are very active on, or we'll see you guys next week right here at Speaking of Zane. If you ever miss the show and you want to watch the replay, you go to YouTube and watch it. Just search for Speaking of Zane and you can find the recording there. All right, gang. But appreciate having you guys here. I've enjoyed it, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys next week for the 221st, I believe, edition of Speaking of Zane. Take care, everybody.